Hello everybody, this is General Yanis, and today in Death Card Tactics I will be looking at the new points for Death Card, a big update from Warhammer community with the FAQ of points for all Warhammer 40k armies. So let's get started. So today, the 7th January, a big update, as I said, with the updated FAQ point cost for all armies, the Munitorum Field Manual 2021 MK1 that it can be downloaded from the Warhammer community page. So what are the point costs for our new Death Card units? Can we see some winners and losers from these preliminary points, let's say? And so let's take a look. So let's start with HQ choices and Lord of War. We have the Chaos Lord and the Chaos Lord in Terminator armor that have been increasing a little bit in points, but maybe the base points here, here are our current points, and here are the new points that were mentioned. But maybe some of these stats, we don't know exactly what the start loadout is. The Demon Prince I'll get back in a little while, and the Lord of Contagion seems to be increasing a little bit in point cost from 115 to 120 points, and he seems to have a new option to take something called Orb of Desiccation for 5 points, but we don't know what that is. The Lord of Virulence, our new HQ choice that we still don't know the stats for and abilities, will also be coming in at 120 points. The Sorcerer in Terminator armor is slightly increased, and the Malignant Plaguecaster is going a little bit down from 100 points to 95 points. And then we have Typhus and Mortarion. The named characters seem to stay unchanged point costs. So the good news is the Plaguecaster slight decrease. For example, for my Crusade list where I'm using him, the Lord of Contagion, I cannot really understand why he should be increasing, but of course we haven't seen any preview of his new stats. Maybe he's got some better abilities, maybe he has reroll of ones or something like that. And the Lord of Virulence starts at 120 points. Now coming to the Demon Prince, his loadout and his stats seem a bit mysterious, comparing the Death Guard Demon Prince with the Demon Prince that was mentioned from Chaos Space Marines and Chaos Demons. So here we have the Death Guard Demon Prince. The base cost is 140 points. But then, for example, here we don't have the options for Malefic Talon, so we don't know exactly what is his standard loadout here. He can take the axe or sword, Plague Spewer, and the wings, but it's a bit difficult to know what this is. If we look at the Demon Prince for the Chaos Space Marines and the Chaos Demons here, the base cost is 150 points. And then here we, for example, have the Malefic Talons 1 set or 2 sets. But for example, here we cannot take, it's no choice to take the Hellforged Sword, and it's a bit different. So this is a bit strange. So I don't really know what the Death Guard Demon Prince will have as a standard loadout here. But if this is with twin Malefic Talons, that I don't think, then it's he would be cheaper than previously. But let's see what the Codex will bring. Then significant changes to our troops and important changes. So we have the Poxwalkers and the Cultists are cheap and not so elite infantry. They will go down in points. So the Poxwalkers will go from 7 points per model down to 5, and the Cultists will go from 6 to 5. And this is also very good that the smallest unit to keep backfield objectives we can bring, now we have to only pay 50 points for the minimum unit of 10 Poxwalkers or 10 Cultists. So maybe will this mean that we will see more Poxwalkers back in business, back in our armies? Just keep in mind that in the 8th we had 4 points per model, so this is still higher, and we don't know with the new Disgusting Resilience or the new rules what will this affect. Will the Poxwalkers get some other rule? So let's see. And now going to the most important troop choice, the Plague Marines. The base cost now we can see for the model has increased from 18 points to 21 points, so we get 3 points increase. So in my opinion, this seems like something that's good. We will have double wounds here. I think this we can work with, and we can still build lists, and if we get, let's say we are 1 point more expensive than the intercessors, but we have a better option for weapons here. So I think this is good enough, I believe. If we look at the weapon options for the Plague Marines, the special weapons like Plasma and Melta and Blight Launchers still say the same, so plus 10 points to the base cost. And one really good thing is that the Flail of Corruption and the Great Cleaver have reduced point cost. So previously there were 15 points to take, now there are only 10. So actually a Plague Marine with a Flail is now 31 points, and previously he would have been 33 points. So if you consider a 5-man squad with a full loadout, let's say maximizing the damage for this and the points, of course. So a 5-man squad with 2 flails, 2 blight launchers, and the champion having the plasma gun or a power fist. Now it will be 155 points, and this squad previously would have been 150 points. So let's say only a 5-point difference to work with here. But of course, if we take the cheapest squad of Plague Marines we can get, 5-man squad, now with a base cost of 21 and only bolters and plague knives, it will be 105 points, and previously it was 90 points. So a bit more points to cover here. One strange thing on the Plague Marines here on the FAQ for the points, the unit size is stated as 5 to 10 models. So is the squad size being reduced from the maximum from 20 to 10? But if I compare to the FAQ update also coming today for power level, it still mentions Plague Marines getting up to 20 units with a power rating of 20, but I don't know if this is valid or this is more valid. So I guess we'll have to wait and see for the codex. So moving on to the elites, and some important news here as well. The elite characters, the Biologus Purifier is unchanged. Good news, the Foul Blight Spawn goes down from 85 points to 75 points, so this is a good decrease. I hope it doesn't mean that his weapon is nerfed, but let's cross our fingers here. The Noxious Blightbringer is unchanged, the Plague Surgeon goes up, and the Talisman also goes up. I expect the Plague Surgeon point cost increasing because probably he's getting some new good aura and ability to replace his Disgusting Resilience rerolls. So maybe something reviving infantry or something like that, and maybe this justifies the point increase. The Hellbrute, and not knowing exactly what the base cost covers of the weapons, seems to be quite unchanged from the current points. And then we move on to our elite infantry, the Death Shroud Terminators. They go up from 47 points to 50 points, and we saw on their revealed stats that the Death Shroud Terminators were going to be doing a lot of damage in melee, so 3 points more for more wounds and more attacks. I guess this will probably be still okay for the Death Shroud Terminators. And then we have the Possessed that Games Workshop seems to be pushing a lot for the Death card. The point increased from 20 to 24, but the Possessed have nearly doubled their attacks from D3, I think, previously to now. It's going to be 4, toughness 5 unit with 3 wounds each. So it's quite it will probably be very interesting to take Possessed in the new 9th. And then we go to the other good news, the Blightlord Terminators. So currently we are paying 43 points for the base, including a combi bolter and axe or sword, 35 plus 3 for the combi bolter and 5 for the axe on the sword. But with the new base points, and I assume this includes the combi bolter and the choice of axe or sword, we are getting now, it will cost less, so only 40 points. And if we previously updated our Terminators with for example, combi meltas or combi plasmas, better combi weapons, or putting a Flail of Corruption there, or Blight Launcher, these special weapons, we would have gotten 50 points. And now that with the new base points, we will have 45 per model. So the Blightlord Terminators seem to have decreased in price, praise to Nurgle for that. The cheapest 5-man squad now will be 200 points, while previously it was 215 with the combi bolters and axe or sword, and a max equipped squad, for example, with combi meltas, with Blight Launcher and Flail of Corruption, it will be 225 points and previously 250. So very good news for the Blightlord Terminators. Then moving over to the fast attack. We have the Furtive Blow-Drone. The Furtive Blow-Drone with speeders seems to be the base. has been decreased from 255 points to 130 points, and it becomes the cheapest loadout, it seems, because the 30 blow drone with the mower goes from 125 points to 135 points, increasing 10 points, and the 30 blow drone with a blight launcher stays at 140 points. And I guess with the new points in 9th, 155 points, the 30 blow drone with speeders was not very useful. It was too expensive, but maybe for 130 it can be useful again. And then we go to the, let's say, the bad news of all this: the Mephitic Blight Hauler, the little superstar demon engine for the armies in the 9th edition and with the new multi-melta rules. The current points, of course, were 100. Now the new base points increase dramatically to 140, so 40% increase. So we were expecting some sort of increase, but this is quite a lot. And Chaos Spawn remain unchanged. So Mephitic Blight Hauler, get big point cost increase, and it seems that the era where 3 units of 3 models of Mephitic Blight Hauler each fielding 9 Mephitic Blight Haulers seem to be, let's say, something of the past, and we might see a little bit more blow drones. So let's see how we will make the lists going forward. Then if we go to heavy support, one of my favorite units, the Plaguebear Crawler. If we look at today, the Plaguebear Crawler with speeders or Plaguebear Crawler with entropy cannons, we have point costs from 160 to 175, with speeders being the more expensive. And it seems from the FAQ today that the speeders will be the cheapest option for 165 points, and the Plaguebear Crawler with entropy cannons maybe 170 points, but it's a bit strange. The entry for the Plaguebear Crawler was a bit odd. We have here the Plaguebear Crawler unit cost 165 and entropy cannon as the only choice. So for example, the volley gun is not mentioned. Is the volley gun and the slugger 0 points, or what are these options? And is it for 2 entropy cannons, or do we have to go 275? But all in all, so entropy seems to be the expensive loadout, benefiting more from the new ballistic skill 3 plus and no minus to hit in point blank. But the good news is that we are still in the same price range. We don't see a price hike that would be make the Plaguebear Crawler very difficult to field. A Defiler seems also to be at the same price range. Here we have to check with the codex the base loadout, with what is included in these 165 points, etc. Chaos Land Raider stays the same. Chaos Predator is now split into Annihilator and Destructor, like in the Space Marines Predators. One is equipped with a twin las cannon, and one is with the assault cannon on the main armament, but still similar point costs. So the other, let's say, other units, we have the transport, the Chaos Rhino. Today it's 75 points, and the new base points go up to 80, but it seems to come with a combi bolter, and this one didn't. But again, pretty similar point cost. And then we have also the point cost for the new fortification, the Death Guard Miasmic Malignifier, which will be coming in at 75 points. And I think it's quite a reasonable cost, and it gives you this gives you extra cover and -1 to hit if you are already in cover, and gives the opponent -1 toughness within 9 inches. So it can be used, placed, and used strategically to help the army and put the enemy in disadvantage in the midfield, covering some objective and helping us get cover and making it more tough for the opponent to get that objective. Finally, the last entry for Death Guard was the Deadly Pathogens, and I saw a lot of discussions in the forum about this, but this was a new enhancements that were revealed before Christmas period, and basically the Deadly Pathogens are enhancements for characters' plague weapons and giving +1 strength for some point cost. And now here we have the point cost for the various different enhancements, and apart from the +1 strength, they also give an additional effect, and there are 7 available, and one has been revealed before Christmas, this Viscous Death, by the Warhammer community. So for example, this one, when you determine the number of attacks made with a weapon, you can reroll the result. So for example, Foul Blight Spawn was really good with this one, +1 strength and rerolling the number of attacks. So this could be nice, and let's see what all the others have for interesting things that we can give to our characters' plague weapons. So some summary and final thoughts. We have now gotten the point cost for all our units, and now we just need to get all the stats and the rules from the codex. So of course we cannot decide everything until we have this in hand. But preliminary, a lot of things look quite good in my opinion. The good news are Blightlord Terminators seem to decrease in point cost, which is really good. Poxwalkers and Cultists have also been decreased to 5 points per model. The Plagueburst Crawler remained largely unchanged, the point cost. Plague Marines increased 3 points, but the Flail is cheaper, and we get the 2 Wound Marines at last. So I think 21 points for Plague Marines is acceptable, and I think we can build list with that. The Blow Drone seems to be cheaper. Foul Blight Spawn also is going down in point cost, and the Fortification is only 75 points. Of course, you can add here the Possessed 24 points and multiple attacks and so on. The Possessed are also quite good, and Death Shroud Terminators also stayed relatively unchanged in point cost. And of course, preliminary bad news are, on the downside, the Mephitic Blight holders go up significantly from 100 points to 140 points. We were expecting some point increase, but maybe not. I didn't, at least I didn't expect 40% increase in the point cost. And then we have a lot of question marks still open, of course, but some special question mark is the Demon Prince seems very strange compared to the other armies. So with the loadout and the options for the Demon Prince seem unclear. So this concludes the presentation here. What do you think about the changes? What are your what are you most excited about, and what is apart maybe from the Mephitic Blight holder? What did you what it was not as good as you expected, or bad news? What are you looking forward to build lists with now, with a bit more point cost that we have here? So if you like this video, please press like and subscribe the channel, where I will be posting more videos and analysis of units and death card tactics. If you want to further support my efforts in this channel, please visit my Patreon homepage on patreon.com General Yanis. And with these words, General Yanis will be signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye-bye.